Heyo. Share this thing out, see if we can get some participants. So let's do that. It's a little dark. Little dark, but we'll work through it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Doing something a little bit different tonight. I am your esteemed host, Eddie Wright, and today we're doing a live stream middle of the week. We'll start to pick these up more and more for 2020. But for this week, today, tomorrow's a content day. Every Tuesday and Thursday are my content days. And instead of doing a scheduled video as I traditionally do, today we're going to do a live stream. And today's topic of discussion is simply Mississippi barbecue. Let's talk Mississippi barbecue. Sights, sounds, styles, types, dislikes, likes, color, whatever. Whatever you feel like you want to talk about, feel free to chime in. I've got a few points I want to discuss and talk about. And like it or love it, they're going to get discussed. And at the end of the day, I hope you are enjoying and feel like tuning in. So, with that being said, as we said from the beginning, my name is Eddie Wright, esteemed barbecue guru, future world champion. I'm claiming that. And a little bit about myself, YouTube channel that I created here about 6 months ago, strictly dedicated for barbecue. Got into this by lifestyle. I've always been somewhere around smoking grills my entire life. Ended up getting started into just catering on a small scale for friends and family. That led into a backyard barbecue competitions at the Chris Myers Invitational last year, where I took home best ribs, and I immediately got the barbecue bug from that. And what I mean by the barbecue bug, I mean by the competition barbecue bug. It was already in my mind that I wanted to compete. I wanted to go out here and see if I could, match up against some of the best in the world. And now there's an opportunity that I can honestly say that I have sitting in front of me, that I'll be able to go out here and possibly bring home a couple trophies, win some things, and maybe one day even be a world champion. And that's my goal of it all. Win or lose, I'm enjoying myself. I'm having a good time. And I hope you are having a good time following me and following my vision and my trials. So with that being said, today we're discussing Mississippi barbecue. I hail Hank. What's going on, man? How you doing, brother? I hail from the great state of Mississippi, center of the Bible Belt, home to esteemed religious folk and a lot of other things in hand. Some would call it the most corrupt political state in the world, but hey, I call it home. And we barbecue here. We do a lot of barbecue. We do a lot of cooking out. We live in a place where food and family go hand in hand. 1 second. And they go hand in hand, and people, through all walks of life have made it staples within their home. Hey, you're either cooking great food and having a great time, or you're going somewhere where they're cooking food and you're having a great time. Either way, it's a great time being had regardless. I grew up in Jackson, Mississippi, and in my area for the longest amount of time, all I ever knew was E&L barbecue. E&L, if it wasn't E&L, it wasn't real barbecue, besides family. And to kind of expand on that, the reason I want to talk about Mississippi barbecue, I feel like there are variants in Mississippi barbecue, but one of the central Mississippi staples within barbecue is the E&L style. And I call it style simply because I don't know a lot of other places that will basically give you great barbecue, but their staple is sauce on the fries, and they make sure when you get wings and things like that, they dunk your ribs, they dunk your wings in sauce, and the sauce is pretty good. So that became a lot of what people began to grow up on and know as, hey, this is Mississippi barbecue. Now, throughout the time of a lot of us growing up here in the great state, there have been smokehouses and other barbecue houses that have come and gone, and a lot of us has gotten a different taste of a lot of different things. So with that being said, I think one of the things that I also want to chime in on is smoking versus barbecue, the big difference. Both are style, both are barbecue, but one's a bit different. There's like, it's like saying I'm a chef, but when you're a chef, sometimes you have discipline. You have a chef that's a sous chef. You have chefs that are good at pastries. You have chefs that are good at just prepping everything else. So I consider Central Mississippi barbecue as being, in the beginning portion, big on sauce. We were very big on sauce. When I catered events here recently, people are still big on sauce, and I think that's just an everywhere thing. You have some people that are huge on sauce. If it don't have sauce on it, they don't want it. For me, I'm more of a flavor profile type of guy. Speaking to smoking meat and doing it on that type of discipline, there's more of a marrying of the type of protein you're cooking and the seasoning you're using, and getting those to basically mesh together well under great heat, under great constant heat, and good smoke. And smoke has a flavor as well, which a lot of people don't understand. So one thing is always, that's often been said, is if you ever want to make a pit master upset, drown their barbecue in barbecue sauce without tasting it first. I agree with that wholeheartedly. A lot of us who do barbecue spend a lot of time and a lot of energy making sure that our flavor profile is unique, number one, and is comparable, if not above, what people would traditionally have. Now, sometimes it's hard for people to get what the pit master or the cook is trying to get across in their cooking of the actual protein, but sometimes if you eat enough, you'll start to get it. They'll tell you, hey, it's supposed to be a little bit heat, it's supposed to be a little bit hot on the lighter on the inside, and it's supposed to kind of sit with you on the back end. You have some of that, but then you also have some that just really, it's a total unique experience. You bite into it and there's flavor all the way around. There's good moisture within the meat. There's good taste within the meat, and then there's sometimes a light coat of sauce or coat of glaze to go over it to enhance the showcase of it. So with that being said, I want people to actually take the time to think about exactly what I'm saying and talking about here, because smoking meat and grilling meat are both disciplines, but they're not the same. Grilling meat, majority of the time, is under a higher amount of heat than what smoking is, and it requires a lot more babysitting. Both require you to take a look. Both require you to constantly make sure you're not overcooking the meat. But when grilling meat, it's a lot faster than it is with smoking. Another thing that I've always been a fan of, Ben Norris, what's going on, man? How you doing? That's how barbecue in Indiana is, just drowned in sauce, and it always seems like up here it's all about the sweet sauce. We are very big on sweet sauce here in Mississippi. And I think it's just kind of what the palate is for some areas. Sweet, sometimes a little bit of heat involved. I'm a fan of a little bit of heat, but a lot of people are just very big fans of just sauce. If it doesn't have sauce on it, sorry, I was paying attention to my dog. She's eating something. I'm not sure where she got it from. Some people are, in my opinion, overkill on the sauce, because in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, you can have too much sauce on meat and it totally hides all the hard work that sometimes the grill man or the pit master was trying to put across. There's a vision that a lot of cooks have when going into either grilling or smoking meat. They want to give you something. It's not just, I'm just trying to give you cooked meat. I'm trying to give you something. I'm trying to take you on a ride. I want it to feel this type of when you bite into it. As you chew, I want it to do this, and as you swallow, I want it to complete the experience. So a lot of people go into it like that, and of course, it's not easy to explain that when doing certain things like concessions or catering, because not everybody really cares about it on that particular level. But for those of us that do, we want people to understand that, hey, a lot of us who are in the discipline, the sport, or the art area of cooking, this is one of our biggest focal points. We want to take you on that ride. We want your feedback. Feedback is important. And trying to go back into what I mean about Mississippi barbecue, for me, that's been one of my biggest tools in tuning my particular style of barbecue and making sure that from a consumer side, I'm giving my consumer what is going to be the best product that would fit a wide range of different types of people. You have your heat experts, you have your mild experts, but in the middle, you have a palette of people who just want amazing taste and quality of barbecue on a consistent level. And that's what I aim for. You have a lot of Mississippi pitmasters and barbecue guys who are on different sides. You have you guys who just like, hey, I want it to be different every time I cook it. I want it to be hot throughout. I want it to be saucy throughout. So with that being said, that also is something that's an abundance in every area. It's not just a Mississippi thing, but I'm just addressing my area now because I feel like our spotlight doesn't get enough light. So to all the pit masters located between the 601, 662, 228 and the Gulf Coast area, hey, if I'm missing something, feel free to chime in today, tomorrow, whenever you see this live stream, and let me know. Mississippi barbecue is a big thing. We're not Texas. We're not North Carolina, South Carolina. We are who we are. We like it in I like to say three ways: heavy sauce, great seasoning. It's either going to be heavy sauced, it's going to be greatly seasoned, or it's going to be right there in the middle. Between those three is what basically completes the Mississippi palate. You'll find either one of those three within a variety from northern to southern Mississippi, and overall, it's great food given from great pitmasters. Hank King says, I think people down there meat who drown their meat in sauce or hide something. That can also be said, Hank. I agree with that in some parts. Sometimes you will get a lot of guys who cook and go a little too far with the cooking, and they use sauce to hide things. Sauce sometimes is a hiding element for some people when they go too far with the meat. And when I say too far, I mean sometimes they'll screw it up. And it's not a common thing, but sometimes people will screw it up and they feel like they can save it with the sauce. Sometimes that's true. Sometimes it's not even possible to be saved. I would much rather get rid of any overcooked protein than just saucing it to death and being like, hey, here it is. It's awesomely sauced. I hope you enjoy. There's no replacement for overcooked, dry, and heavily sauced meat. It's just not something you ever want to taste again if you've ever tasted it. And I don't aim to give people that, period. And I hope nobody ever does. But you do have some people that do. Hank, to a very good point, you do have people that will drown it in sauce. And again, this is no hit at sauce. This is no we hate sauce type of conversation. It's just simply saying that there's a medium ground between too much and not enough. If you can find that nice middle ground and stay there, you'll make a lot of people happy. But I think a lot of time within a lot of parties and a lot of cookouts, a lot of early pit masters in our area spent too much time making sure there was sauce on everything. And for me and my upbringing, I was pretty much sauced out by the time I got 15. It's just like a carpenter using caulk. Yes, that's very true, Hank. It is exactly like a carpenter using caulk. That is a very good point. And for those of you who build houses, you know exactly what we're talking about. Caulk is sometimes used to hide mistakes or cover up imperfections within framing and dressing a house up. Long story. I spent time framing houses. Some guys have also as well. But either way, it's a good thing to know. Caulk is a hider of things. Sauce has to complement the meat, Hank says, and I agree also with what Hank is saying. I think that's why in the competitive barbecue, a lot of people decide to sauce their end product because it's the perfect marriage to um, the end game of a great cooking session. It's kind of like painting a car. You get it buffed out. I'm sorry, you get it primed out, ready to go. You lay your coats down, a primer. You lay your color down, and then what do you do at the end? You clear coat it. Flat black is cool. Flat black is fine, but there's nothing like a triple black glazed over Mercedes Benz paint. It's something to admire and fully appreciate when the cut and buff is done at a specific level, and it's just like you walk by it and you see your imperfections and your perfections all at the same time. It's like looking at glass. Now, not saying your barbecue is supposed to look like glass, but getting that nice sheen and that nice color over a great cooked rack or cooked set of thighs and things of that nature. Be quiet, Rowdy. It makes the end product of what you're doing just like that cut and buff session on that brand new paint job. It brings everything to life at the end product, and I wish more people would understand that that's more or less what it's for. Again, nothing against you dunking your wings and ribs and sauce, and nothing against you having sauce on your fries. But there's also a lot to be given when you marry it all together in what I described as a perfect uniform way of dressing up barbecue. Reading some comments. Sauce with the compliments of the meat. Yep, I think we commented on that. And yeah, man, more or less that's kind of what it is to me. We're about 15 minutes in. I wish I could take some phone calls, but we're not set up for that just yet. But moving forward, we will be set up with a hotline to where you can call in. We can talk about different rigs, what you're cooking on, what you're cooking this weekend, and we can make it unique. This experience, most definitely, I wanted to bring to the table to expand on the content that I already do every Tuesday and Thursday. I have a lot going on, and this allows me to do to be able to provide more content and be a little bit more relaxed, and I have to do a lot behind the editing software. For those who don't know, running a content channel on YouTube is a lot of work. Filming and editing videos is not easy, and being consistent with it is sometimes a little bit more difficult than other times. So being able to do a live stream and get face to face or chat box to chat box with your users or your viewers is just as important. So I like to use this time now, starting in 2020, to kick this platform off and let everybody know, hey, I'm here, I'm available. I love to converse, I love to talk, and I like to talk about grill talk. Well, another thing that I'm working on, I have a newly purchased 20-foot competition trailer that I will be using for competitive cooking and concessions. And with that being said, I have a multitude of things to do to get it ready for both competition and competitive cooking. So this particular rig is a 8.5 foot wide by 20 feet rig. 10 feet of that 20 feet is an open porch, but it will not be for long. We'll probably put some blinds up from time to time when we're doing stuff. And it was something I most definitely wanted to secure in order to step out into the competition ring, what I describe as the correct way. I've done a backyard competition. It was great, but I know when going out of state and doing things outside of our area, everybody travels different, and I more or less want to be comfortable everywhere I go. I want to be able to sleep in my facility, and I also want to be able to have the space I needed to carry what I wanted. So a 10-foot would have been great, but a 20-foot, in my opinion, is perfect for everything that I wanted to do. So went out, secured that, immediately found things wrong. We had to go ahead and fix that. And sometimes when doing things like this, I will go ahead and say a lot of pressure mounts up. You get into it, and you get a little bit over. You get a little. How can I say it? A lot of things happen fast. There's the purchase. There's the thought process of how you need to outfit it. Then you have the actual issues at hand. So I myself, BJ, what's going on, man? How are you doing today? You got that PS. Oh, the Blackstone. No, I'm gonna go. That's gonna be my ending thing. We're gonna talk about that. So stick around, BJ. So with the trailers, a lot of things that have to get fixed, finished, and rectified before we can roll out. So this has been most definitely a learning process for me, and I'm welcoming of that. A lot of things I did not know about trailers, utility trailers, and traveling with utility trailers since I've been in the military, but it wasn't my equipment. But now that I own equipment, a piece of equipment that big is actually a very different responsibility level involved that I'm most definitely all for. Hold on one second. What? Come on. Come here. Come here. Come here. Okay. So my dog wanted to come in and play. So let y'all see her. This is Rowdy. Say hello, Rowdy. Say hello. Yeah, she's nosy, and she's also energetic, and she's a Jack Russell. So with that being said, so yeah, I got the trailer. It was in good condition. Of course, it had a few kinks in a few things that we had to get finished. So I've been working on those things without documenting them. But now moving forward, I've got a big shopping list that I've been out collecting things and getting things together. And I am now in the process of getting ready to start a new schedule of content and showing the upgrades and changes that we're making on the channel. And that rolls into our newest addition to the elements of things that we will be able to use on the trailer. So as I was speaking to earlier, part of the trailer is unenclosed. It's a covered porch, 10 feet. And since December, I've been patiently waiting on Blackstone to release this new griddle air fryer combo that they have just finally released to the public, exclusive to Walmart. I was calling about 3 weeks ago asking when it would be out, what was the information on it, and when we could get more information, and they would give me nothing. I would call every day and Blackstone would give me nothing. So good job to your reps, Blackstone. They never told a lie, or they never let me on. But I was finally able to get it, and we have not put it together yet, but that leads me to the great news that I have. Jonathan, Tracy, and the rest of the team at Grills of Mississippi, this Saturday, we will be doing a filming of a new piece of content down at the store. We're going to open the box. We're going to put it together. We're going to season it, and we're going to do our first cook on the Blackstone new air fryer griddle combo at the Grills of Mississippi with the staff at the Grills of Mississippi and featuring some of the barbecue gurus of Mississippi. So if you're hearing the sound of my voice and you're in central Mississippi or you're in the area of Mississippi, period, hey, come on over to the Grills of Mississippi store. Saturday, we'll be cooking out. We'll be testing and tuning on the Blackstone new air fryer griddle combo. We'll be baking some content for my YouTube channel and theirs as well. And we'll be putting on a great show. So if you got nothing else going on and you want to be a part of something special, hey, feel free to come on out. Amazing shout out to my guy BJ Sims, because he knew I was patiently waiting on that device to come out. And he texted me and asked me that I have it yet on the one day I was not checking Walmart's site. And I was very happy to see once he texted me that I checked, and it was readily available, and they had one left in my area. So I rushed to my truck to grab the special card to go ahead and make that purchase and get it secured. Picked it up today, dropped it off at the Grills of Mississippi store today, and we planned out what we're going to do Saturday. So Saturday, if you guys have nothing going on, feel free. Drop by early Saturday morning, get your day started with us. We'll be sitting around, putting together a grill, having a great conversation, and it's going to be fun for everybody involved. So feel free. Again, that's me. I'm going to put this energetic puppy down because it's going crazy. All right. But yeah, again, shouts out to BJ Sims for that. Big Red, what's going on, man? How you doing? Thank you for tuning in to the live stream. We're still talking about a lot of things going on. So the reason I got this griddle combo, several reasons. I plan on doing catering and concessions on the side when I have available time. And when doing that, I wanted to have a particular type of flair. I wouldn't say flair, a particular type of, I don't know. I think Bo is, Big Red, I think Bo is on location at his new job in Louisiana on the barge somewhere. I think, don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. But I wanted to go ahead and secure something like that because it allows me to do a lot of different things, and a lot of different things as far as food possibilities and cooking when I'm out on location, when I'm doing catering, because catering is one of the things I'm going to be pushing for, and doing small fundraisers, things of that nature. So with that being said, that's mainly why it was secured. I have the porch, and the porch on the trailer is big enough to fit it, and it not feel stuffy, it not be in the way, and it's gonna overall work out. I'm looking very forward to doing some very fun Taco Tuesdays within my area, and I think personally I'm gonna make some kick-ass tacos. I got some great recipes that I've wanted to do on a flat iron. I've wanted one of these my entire life, and I finally have one. And the second reason I got it, I forgot to mention, also doing concessions and catering. Fried foods are often a big thing, fries and things of that nature. You looked at dates for your first comp. BJ, I have. Um, I am. I want it to start this month, but I'm not gonna push it. This is a very big step for me and big deal for me and the team I'm assembling. So I want to step out calmly and correctly. So I will say by mid-February, if not the end of this month, I'll be hitting my first competition. But I will have some concession sessions under my belt already, building the war chest so that we can do this. A lot of planning is going on to make sure that strategically we can do this. I am in no shape, form, or fashion wanting to be a one-man army. I am welcoming team members, and just welcoming people from all walks of life. If you want to be a part of something special, if you want to be a part of a great team, I'm not one of those guys who shies away from working with other people. If we have the same type of mind state, we have the same type of passion, and we can make it work out, hey, I'm more than willing to allow people to join the team if you're serious. Because I'm very serious about barbecue. I've taken a very big leap forward in securing a lot of these things. So all that's really asked from team members is just participation if possible, and maybe some finance if needed. So with that being said, yeah, by February we'll be doing our first comp, and I'm gonna be in the Jack Royal circuit. I feel like that's a circuit I'm gonna be more comfortable with as far as trying to shoot for my first actual series to be a part of, and that's where I'm gonna get the ball rolling for myself. Just need to know when to show up and give you a run for your money. Hey, BJ, I like that. I appreciate that, man. Yeah. The BBC, let me see, what's the name of it? It's the BBQ BBCA. It's a real weird name. BBQ, wait, BB, oh my goodness. BBQ BBCA, I think. It's just a terrible, oh God, it's so terrible. Barbecue Association. I'm trying to type this as we go across it. There's so many associations out here. But this one specifically covers a lot of Louisiana and a little bit of Mississippi. So, hey, Southern Coastal Cooking, what's going on, man? How you doing today? Thank you so much for tuning into the live stream. Glad to have you. We're talking about barbecue. We're talking about competitions, and I'm letting everybody know where I'll be laying my hat at this competition season. I may hit a couple KCBSs, might possibly hit Memphis in May for the backyard division. But most definitely I am going to bind myself to the Jack Royal circuit, and I'm going to hit quite a few of those to see if I can qualify for the Jack Royal, later this year. And that's the biggest. That's one of the biggest things for me. It's BCA BBQA BCABBQ.org. That's it. And I'll put the link in the chat so you guys can see it. They've got a lot of things coming up. I'm very excited, and I can't wait. Actually, I just simply cannot wait. I think in order to get invited to the Jack Royal, all you have to do is be grand champion in one of those competitions leading up to the Jack Royal, or you have to be invited. They have a points chase and points race. So yeah, I'll be primarily competing in the Barbecue Competitors Alliance I guess you can call it, league. That's where I'm going to start. Slim chances I'll run into the bigger of the big dogs in my local area. But I'm confident that if I do run into somebody, I'll be able to give everybody a run for the money. So that's my main thing. That's one of my biggest goals, and that's what I'm shooting for. BBC. It's a really weird name. It's bcabbq.org, and I have to remember that because I'm gonna be speaking about it a lot because that's where I'm trying to be. But their first competition is the 17th and 18th in Blanchard, Louisiana, and it's an intended Jack Roll qualifier. And I wanted to hit it, but I'm not real sure if I can do it and not feel like I'm rushing the process. Hold on one second. Sorry, I'm dealing with my puppy. For those of you who don't know, if you buy a Jack Russell, it gets bored fast and it finds things just like any random dog would do. It's just playing in the background. It's really agitating at times. So again, their first calendar event for this year, 17th and 18th, Blanchard, Louisiana, Taste of Blanchard, Jack Roll qualifier intended. We were going to shoot for that, but it would have been rushed. So we're going to change and we're going to hit possibly Marksville, Louisiana at the Paragon Casino RV Park for the T. Wayne Abshire BCA Invitational. That's going to be our first one for 2020. So be on the lookout. Get ready. Eddie Wright Barbecue, all the smoke competitive competition cooking team is coming your way, Louisiana and Mississippi. And we're not just limiting ourselves to Louisiana. These are just the Jack Royal intended qualifier events. We will be hitting every major event in Mississippi that we can find. If there's smoke in the air, we want to be there if we all can make it. And again, like I said, I'm still assembling my team, still getting things together and going the way I need it to go. Not trying to one-man army anything, but if I have to, I will. I'm not afraid, but I don't want to. Most definitely all about team and all about participation, and wanted to bring people into my circle that are about barbecue and as passionate as barbecue. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to end this because this dog is just doing the most. And as passionate about barbecue as I am. With that being said, we're gonna close this live stream off early. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please excuse my dog in the background. It is doing the most, and it was very unexpected. With that being said, we'll go ahead and close this out. This has been my take on Mississippi barbecue. This has been my prediction for my 2020 schedule. This is my passion. I love barbecue, as we all do. And I want everybody to always understand that you too can do amazing barbecue the right way. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.